Okay, now, yeah, okay. Shalini, are you here? I see she here, but I couldn't hear. All right, so we only have a few of us here, two that haven't watched the lesson 1. So I will send in the chat later the link of the YouTube. So please make sure that you have time to watch that one again in your own time. And there are also a link for Kberry dataset that you could use so that you can follow the instruction of Dr. Shalini and do it in your own time. So there are 2 files that we can have. Thủy, are you here, Thủy? Thủy, if you are able to, can you what we call can you send in the chat again for everyone the data set and the PDF in the form of the message here?
Yes.
All right. Okay. So anyone haven't got the data sets, can you put 0 into the chat box, please? All right. So while we're waiting for Dr. Shalini, we're going to send you again the PDF, which is Dr. Shalini's journal article that she's going to use as an example in our workshop. And we also send you the data set, which in lesson 1, Dr. Shalini have already, show everyone how to extract these data sets of hundreds of journal articles from Scopus. Yeah. Okay. So I can see a few of us here that you have put 0. That means you haven't got the data set as well as the Q1 paper, right? So Three already sent in the chat box. So please download it and save it.
वो तो तेरा काम बहुत ही अच्छा कर ले.
Now I understand, we also have a group chat in Facebook. So if you go to Facebook group or you go Twitter or Kberry, Knowledge Bridge Research Institute, you will see our chat in Messenger. Now I let the chat in Messenger, Facebook, not in Zoom, not in Zalo, because in Zalo actually is harder for us to create a big group, like over 1,000 people. Yeah. So we do have in Messenger our Kberry Facebook, the chat group for this systematic literature review. Right. So Thuy, if you could, can you put the link of Kberry Messenger, and Kberry Facebook here for everyone. Anyone doesn't know Kberry Facebook, please put number 0 in the chat box, right? So that we know that how many we need to have the link to join the chat box, right? So in the chat box, feel free to feel free to ask any questions and I will answer it when I could. Feel free also to answer to help each other if you know the answer. And if I am able to, if I can't answer, then I will ask Dr. Shalini. Yeah. Okay. Right. Now,
Yes, I'm
Shalini.
there. Yes. Hello. Hello, Duke. I'm there.
Yes. If you're here, then I let you start. I'm just covering you when you're not here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you hear me, Duke?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Today, there are some issues with the network. So, some issues. So, but if you can hear me, that is good enough.
Yeah, we can hear you. All right, we can
Oh,
see your screen now. Yes.
fine. That's great. Okay, so should I give a overview of what we did yesterday, or should I start with how to write a paper
I think maybe a few
with
minutes.
SLR now?
Yeah. So maybe everyone, if you haven't attended the lesson one before, can you put 0 again in the chat box so that we uh yeah, we see how many. Yeah, 1, 3. All right. So maybe just few minutes to summarize what we have
Okay.
covered in lesson one, please, Shalini. Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. Fine, fine, Duke. Let me start with this. Okay, so a very good evening to one and all present here. So let me start on how to write a paper using SLR technique. That is a systematic literature review. So this is the topic. Let me increase the font size. Just give me a minute. I'm just starting with this. Okay. So what I told you in my previous lecture was the first most important thing is to think about a broader area where you want to do your research, right? So let's say the broader area is green bonds and sustainable finance. So let's say this is our topic that we want to have, that we want to write a SLR on. So what is the next important thing with all of us is the next important thing is to look for the previous papers, all those people who have written previously on this topic. So we have to find out those papers, and and on the basis of those paper we will be writing the SLR. The full form of SLR is systematic literature review. So let me take you to this. Um Let me open this scopus.com. So this is one website, that is a paid one. You need to have the subscription of scopus.com before you can open this, before you can have an access to this. Our college, thanks to our institution, so the organization in which I'm there, so we do have a subscription of this, right? So let me sign in over here with my college ID. So you can see from here, like, you have to find out the previous papers with the help of this database. And this database is called as a Scopus database. So let me write down the keywords with inverted commas. So let's say green bonds is one, another is sustainable finance. There can be many keywords as well, not only this green bonds, or we can write sustainable bonds as well over here. But what I have done is I have written green bonds or sustainable bonds and sustainable finance. So click onto the search option. So you will see the number of papers that we have received is 185 with this topic, right? So we can narrow down this research as well. So how do we do that? So we have different options, like we can choose the subject area. So let's say I want only the business management, these only the subject areas. So what I can do is I can limit to, even I wanted the document type only the article, so limit to. So let's see how many papers do we have now. So you can see we have only 102 documents, right? So what we can do here is you can download these documents. So you will, with the help of this Scopus database, what you will get is you will get an Excel file, and you should download all these papers for your reference. So how do you do that? So go to the command export. There is a command called as export over here. You can see file type is CSV. You can click onto this. and you click on all these things. So we need all the information, right? So click on the command called as export over here. So you can see from here that 102 documents we have received. We have got this CSV file. And you can see from here that you have received around 102 papers, 102 uh, information about the 102 papers. So now we can see that the topic that is relevant to us. So what is the topic? So what is the main topic that we want to go for? That is a green bonds or sustainable bonds and sustainable finance. So let's say this is our topic and we did a search in Scopus database and we got around 102 papers in final. So this is what we have got. So what we have done, what is the next step? So download the CSV file from here, right? And so this is your master file. Please remember this. This is your master file where it will be of real help to all of you. It will help to write down the paper of SLR, right? So let's start with this, how we can go for it. So let me show you this as well. There is an option over here, advanced query. Click onto this and you will see that you have got this search key. The search key is that you have applied in the Scopus database. The search key is the key that you have applied in the Scopus database, and on the basis of that you have received 102 papers. So what is that? So you will be easily able to get it from the Scopus database as well. So यहाँ पे what we have written here is like these are our keywords: green bonds, sustainable bonds, sustainable finance, limit to subject area, economics and all that, business area, subject area, social science, and limit to document type is article. So this is the search query that we have put. And on the basis of this, we have got 102 final papers. And these 102 final papers in the CSV file is our master database file. Right. So this is what I told you in my previous lecture. One more thing I told you about here is it helps us to get some datas or the diagrams. How do we get that? There is an option written over here that is analyze results. So click onto this. So you will see document by number of years. So you can see from here a figure is also there, a table is also there. So you can download this from the button option export. So you have got this, right? So how many papers are from different years? 2020 में 6, 21 में 13, 25 में 1. So this is one table that you will be using while writing the SLR paper, right? So this is one thing. What is the another thing that you can make use of? The documents by affiliation, not the affiliation, by the country. Which country has written mostly on this paper, and it says that India and UK and China. So it's almost the same for the three top countries that is written mostly on this topic is India, United Kingdom, and China. So you can again download this paper from the export button and you can download it from here. And you can make use of this. You can see from here. So this is another table that we have got. I'll tell you how to make use of it. But first, let me go with the research methodology part. I hope it is clear till here. So this is what we have done in our previous lecture. Please raise your hands if you are able to understand this all. Just let me close it down. Okay, nice. So let's move ahead from here, right? So this is what we have already done in the previous lecture. Now have we done the research methodology part? I don't remember that. Please, can anybody tell me? Have we seen what is to be written in the research methodology part in my previous lecture? I don't remember that. Somebody can help me in knowing that? Yes, okay. Somebody is saying yes. Okay, so just let me give you a brief overview of that if you want. So I have shown you one of my papers that got published in A category journal, ABDC A category journal. This is the paper. And let me show you, let me be a little fast onto this. This is the research methodology part. So I have already shown you, I feel, I have shown you these tables and all that, right? Yes, I think I have shown you all these tables. You remember this? What is the exclusion criteria? What is the search string? This is the table that we have to make. Are we done with that all? Please just write in the chat box. Have we done all this? Okay, so what we can do is let's move to the next part of it now. So let's move to the introduction part now. Let's start with the introduction part now. So what all is to be written in the introduction part? So let's start with this now from today. Hanji. So what all is to be written into the introduction part? So let me tell you one thing. Whenever you are writing the introduction, like let's say the topic is on green bonds and sustainable bonds and sustainable finance. Let's say this is the topic, right? So what is to be written into the introduction? So that is an important point. So let's understand this. The first most important thing is, so you can write what is the status of green bonds in India. Like, I am from India, so I'm just talking about this. So what is the status of green bonds in India and the world? I'm telling you, let me repeat this again. So, what I'm trying to tell you is about how to write the introduction part now, right? So, introduction part may what all is to be written. So, our topic is on this, that is a green bonds and sustainable bonds, green bonds or sustainable bonds. It's not green bond. These, I'm using the words like green bonds. Either the paper should have the word green bonds or sustainable bonds, but it must include the word sustainable finance. You understand what I'm saying? What I'm saying is the Scopus database should search for those papers that is having either this as the keyword or this as the keyword, but this is important. Sustainable finance word should be written. Hello, I think there is somebody. Can you please switch off yourself? Okay. So what I'm trying to tell you here is, so green bonds or sustainable bonds, but it must have the word that is called as a sustainable finance. Now, what do you need to write into the introduction part? In the introduction part, write about what is the status of green bonds in your country and in the world. So, this is what we have to start with. Now, the second most important thing that we have to write is how your paper is different from other papers. So, this is also one paragraph that needs to be emphasized over here. How your paper is different from the other papers. So, you can, let me tell you one more thing over here. Okay, so we have found out this. Now you can add one more search string over here. What is the search string that we can put? Let's say we want to see how many people has written a SLR on this topic as well. So let me put systematic literature review. So let me see how many previous papers, how many people have written the systematic review on this topic. So it says one person. Now you can see this person, he has also written onto the same keywords. He has also written the paper SLR. Now please understand this. This is a person who has also written the SLR or the systematic literature review on the same keywords that we have. So now you have to talk about here how your paper is different from the other papers, how your paper that you are going to write is different from this paper that you could find out over here. So this is how you come to know whether somebody else has also written a paper on the same topic or not. So you can see that this person has already written the paper onto this. Right. So very interesting. Let me show you one thing over here. Just give me a minute. Let me take it out. Personal folder. Neha, third paper. Let me show you how you can write it down. It's a very good table that we have made in our paper. It's another paper of mine, and just have a look at this how we have differentiated our paper with the other papers. Just let me show you. This is my paper on meta analysis. Okay, now this is the table. Okay, now you can see from here how we have made the comparison with the other people. Just look at this. Let me take you to that. मोहो कहाँ चला गया एक मिनट एक मिनट So this is the table. So this is one of my papers, and we have tried to make a comparison of this with the previous papers. So let's say we have written one paper on meta-analysis on the ESG topic. So there are different authors who has already written the ESG paper earlier as well. So we are trying to tell the author, we are trying to tell the reviewers or the editors how our paper is different from these papers. So you can see from this, we have divided it into a table, and this is the first paper, that is Freddie et al. He has also written one paper, and the objective is this. Matlab, these people have also written previously the papers on the same topic, and with the help of this table, we are trying to tell them how our paper is different from the previously written papers. So we have said, like, others has taken a sample 149, the time period they have taken is this, and their objective is this. So we have taken much more than what these people have written. The objective is to examine relationship between ESG firm performance. यहाँ पे we have taken more variables than this. And similarly, so we have written the objective of previous studies, of different studies, and scope क्या था? What was the scope of these previous studies and what is our scope? So we are trying here to tell the editor why we have written this paper, despite of the fact many other studies has already been conducted on the similar topic. I hope you're getting me. Please raise your hands if you're able to understand what I'm saying. Please raise your hands if you're able to understand any point that is not clear and you want me to talk about this again. Okay, nice. Okay. Any topic till now, anything? Acha, everybody is saying yes, it is clear. Okay, nice. Okay, so let's proceed ahead. So this is the most important part. This part should always be a part of the introduction of your paper. Please remember, this is the most important part of your study, and it should be a part of the introduction as well, right? And how you will start with it, like you can start with the status of green bonds in India and the world, why it is useful, what is the usefulness, of this of it, right? Along with, you have to put in-text citation. In-text citation is to be put, look, if you want your paper should be published in a category or B category journal, so what here is important over here is, so you should put in-text citation, in-text citation of latest year. Please remember this thing. Just try to understand what I'm saying over here is, you need to put the in-text citation of latest years. And let's say this is 2024 that is going on. So try to put from 2020 to 2024. I'm not saying that you do not put the previous citations, but most of the citations in your paper should be from the studies that has been conducted from the year 2020 to 2024, plus from a good and reputed journal. If your institute follows ABDC, then try to get it from the journals A category or B category. If you follow SCI, then from SCI. If you follow Q1, then do it from Q1 journals. Right? So this is very, 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 very important. So whenever you are writing the in-text citation, so you must follow these rules, right? In every paper. This is for every paper. Please remember, not only for the SLR, but this is this is for every paper that you write. So from here till here, let me change the color of this. So how your paper is different from others papers, this is important in a normal paper as well. And in-text citation of latest years most of the times, and the journals that should be part of the in-text citation should be a good and reputed journals, right? The next important aspect that comes over here is the objective of the study. Let me show you this in my paper. Look at this. So whenever you are writing a SLR paper, a paper using the systematic literature review, we normally have the same kind of the questions. Please, I want each of the participants to read these lines. I want each one of you to please read this. Look at this, what it has written. Okay, so what is it written? So let's understand what it is saying. What I'm trying to tell you here is, in the introduction, so what we have written is about the objective of the study as well. So what we have written over here is research question 1, 2, 3, and 4. So what we have written, so the objective of this paper, that how we have written this paper, what are the elements that has been there. So I already told you that I have used the ADO model. The full form of the ADO model is antecedent decisions and outcomes. Right. So, what are the antecedent decisions and outcomes impacting the impact investor? What are the geographical areas, journal of publication, and type of research articles? What are the significant research gaps, and what are theoretical and managerial implications, and future research for the impact investor? So, let me show you other papers as well. This is one of my paper that I have written, but I can show you other papers as well, in which normally the research questions remains the same. So let me open this for you. This is another paper of another author. So you can see from here. Look at this. Read this. Do you find some kind of similarity over here? These are the research question. Let me increase the font size over here. Look at this. This is another paper. Read this. So you will find the research questions in SLR paper is more or less the same that we write for all the SLR papers. If you let me tell you one thing, try to use these two frameworks. Always try to use these two frames, ADO model and TCCM frame. I'll tell you what exactly it is. I'm just trying to tell you. So, whenever you are going for an SLR paper, that is a systematic literature paper, then this model that is called as an ADO model, the full form of this model is antecedent, decisions, and outcome model, right? And TCCM framework consists of theory. First T stands for theory. Second is for the conceptual or country, you can say. Third T, third word T or third word C. C is for the context, and M is for the methodology used. Methodology used in the study. In the previous studies, I'll tell you how to use that. But what I'm trying to tell you over here is, so whenever we are writing a SLR paper, I would always suggest the participants you should include these two frameworks. I'll tell you how you can make use of this, but just try to understand over here that you have to use these two frameworks to make your paper a good paper. Are you able to understand? Please raise your hands. I just say this again and again because I want to know, like, are you able to understand? And nice. So everybody is able to understand, right? So, so what is the next important thing over here is, okay. So I was showing you the introduction part, right? So we were talking about the introduction part, like from here, the objective here, the objective or the research questions over here. So what we are doing, let me repeat this again. So what we are doing, we are talking about the SLR paper, how to write a systematic literature review paper. We have already seen how to write the research methodology part of this. Now I'm trying to tell you how to write the introduction part. Right. So what I've told you about, let's say this is the topic on which we are writing our SLR paper. So what is to be written into the introduction? The usefulness of these green bonds or sustainable bonds. What is the status of green bonds in India and the world? And next is the research gap. So this research gap, how your paper, this is called as the research gap. So how your paper is different from other papers. So this is a research gap that you have to write. Next important thing is the objective or the research questions, right? So this all what I'm talking here is about the introduction. What content is to be added into the introduction, right? So this is to be written, right? One more thing, results also you can write in a very small manner, in a very short, in a very brief. So this is also you can write. So look at this, like we have, this is the introduction part. Let me tell you before proceeding ahead, the part that I'm showing is a part of the introduction, just after the research questions. So these are my research questions. So I have given a brief overview of how we proceeded in the paper. Like we have used the Prisma framework. So we have written this a brief overview into the introduction part. Macklin's theory of need. In this paper, we have viewed this theory. So we have written here in the introduction. So I'm talking about the introduction part, right? So introduction part, in the end, we finalized 154 paper. In this, while doing this SLR, so we have used 154 papers from the year this. right? And the results identified three motivational factors. So you can skip this part, but you can write this part as well, a brief overview of the results as well, and the research methodology part as well, right? But research, these two parts you can skip here, that is the research methodology and the result section. But this is mandatory, because this is not to be written anywhere else in the study. That is your research questions, and the research objective is to be written over here. And in the last of the introduction, so what do you write in the last of the introduction? So you write the rest part of the paper is structured as follows. Section 2 explains the research methodology, section 3 for the analysis and synthesis, and section 4 findings discussions as well. So chapter wise chapterization, what you will write in the last in this chapter wise classification. So what are the different section? What are the different sections of the paper? So this is all about the introduction. So from here till here, so what I have told you how to write the introduction, right? I hope it is clear. Any questions, any queries? Anything that is not clear, please ask. Okay. So let's move to the next thing, next part of it. Let me take you to that. So this is the introduction part. So next part is your research methodology that we have already talked about. Let's move to the next part, and that is called as the data analysis part and interpretation. So this is the third part of it. Please remember this. In this, whenever you are writing a bibliometric and whenever you are writing this SLR paper, so this is research methodology is the second section. Third section is your data analysis and interpretation. There is no review of literature. Please remember this from the normal paper. In the quantitative paper, let me write it here. So when you are writing about a quantitative paper, right? So what is the different sections that we follow here is introduction, then review of literature, then research methodology, and then data analysis, discussion, and implications. Implication, and last me conclusion, right? So this is whenever you are writing a quantitative paper, the paper that is having some model or something like that. So this is the different segments of a paper when we write a normal paper. But when we are writing a SLR paper, so what are the different segments of this? Let me write it here. Systematic literature review paper. So what is the different segments? Introduction, research methodology, third, data analysis. Rest of the portions remain the same. Discussion, implications, and conclusion, right? So this is the different segments of a systematic literature review, right? So we have already seen the introduction and the research methodology part. So let's move to this next topic of today. That is the data analysis and interpretation part. Let me tell you how do we start with it. Okay, now the frameworks that I have already told you. What are the different frameworks that I told you? TCCM framework, ADU model. So this all will become a part of the data analysis framework, right? So isme, year of publication, let's start from here. So what we have to write over here in data analysis and interpretation part, Now we have to tell, now we have to tell कि the papers, the 102 papers in this case that we have already downloaded. So these 102 papers, now we want to do the analysis of these 102 papers. Please remember, now from here we will need this table, and we need these 102 papers, right? So how do we need these 102 papers? So let me start with this is one table that we have got. You remember the table? Let me increase the font size of this. I hope you can see this. Okay, so you can see from here, this is year and number of papers, right? So this is one table that you can make in your paper. So what are we doing basically? Let me put it here. Okay, so just have a look at this. Just have a look at this. So what we are doing right now is we are talking about the third segment of SLR paper, and that is called as data analysis and interpretation. So data analysis and interpretation, we need the CSV file that we have downloaded from the Scopus database, right? Now we need the file that we have downloaded from the Scopus database, right? So first, let's say we want to tell the editor or the reviewer, like this is the data of the previous papers, the 102 papers that we have extracted from Scopus database. So we will be writing the summary of that. So what is the summary over here? 2025 mein how many papers? 1, 24 mein 40, like this, right? So let me tell you one thing. Whenever you are writing this, just have a look at this. So you are making a figure or a table, that depends on you, right? But what here is important, that you have to write about this as well over here. Look at this. Figure 3 shows the distribution of the research articles based on year of publication from this. And it is seen that research area in this has increased gradually. The growth of research, this paper is on impact investing. So you have to write what I'm trying to tell you, like, it is not that you have made the table or the figure, but you have to analyze this table or the figure, and you have to write it over here as well. So this is also very, 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 very important. Just do not make the table, so it will not give you good marks or good impression. So what you have to write is you have to give a brief summary over here about this table. So let's move to the next aspect of it. So what all can be included from the previous papers, right? So this is what we are discussing. uh, the name of the journal. So this is the next topic that we can do it, name of the journal. So how do we get that? Go to the Scopus database. So you can see one column over here, and that is a source title. Select this whole, click onto this, and take it to the new workshop sheet. Keep it here and go to the option sort. Sort A to Z. Click onto this. Now you can see the journals in which the papers have been written with respect to this topic. So you can see the name of the journals from here. Everybody is there? Everything is clear? Okay. I just trying to understand. I just asked you people as well, so that I should know that how many of you are active and listening to me. So I think this becomes important for a person who is teaching you, right? So this is what my journal feedback also, you can say this, right? Okay. Okay. So the next important aspect that you can write over here is name of the journal. So what you have to do over here is So how do you do that? So I told you, go to the Scopus database file, click onto the source title, paste it here. Now start making a table by yourself. So you can see this is the first journal. So these are the different journals. Let me write it over here. And how many papers each for this is one, one, and one, and one. Now, sorry, strategy and development. Okay. So this is another journal that has two. So write it two over here. Next is this till here. This is one, one, one. Energy economics is two. So you can make another table like this. Let's do it till here only. Let me click on to here and let me put it there. So this is another table that you have made, right? So this is the second table that you can make in your SLR paper. What is the section that we are talking about right now? Data analysis and interpretation. That is the name of the journals. Which journals has written papers onto this topic, right? So you can, what we can do is like, if there are many journals who are having one, 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 so we can delete this. So we can go for the papers, we can go for the journals like finance research letter and more than two or two. So we can see from here, there are journals that has published two or three papers as well. So we can include those journals only. So it is not mandatory that we have to talk about all the journals. The journals that has only one papers, we can delete it and put the names of the journals that is having more than two or more than two. Journal names can be included. So this is another table that you can make. Another table that we can make over here is the publication house. This is the second table. What is the C table? That is the journal of, oh sorry, publication house. I hope you understand the difference between, let me tell you here over. You understand the journal and publication house. So these are the two different things. Like, let me give you an example. Asia Pacific Financial Markets is the name of the journal. And what is the publication house? Let me check elsewhere or Willy it is. Let me check it. Asia Pacific Financial Markets. This is Springer. So you can see from here. Let me click over here. So I'll show it to you. So this is the journal and this is the name of the journal and the journal website. You can see from here. This is the website of the journal and this is the publication house, Springer. Right. Let me show you another example. International Journal of Law and Management. So this is another journal. Let me take you to a journal. This is another journal that is international. You can see the name of the journal, International Journal of Law and Management. So this is the website of this journal. And what is the publication house enrolled inside? So now the first table before this we have made about the name of the journals like this, and next table that I'm talking to you is about this, that is a publication house, right? So next table that we can make over here is about the publication house, right? How do you get this information now? Go to your Scopus database file again. Let me take you to here. Leg do I Yeah, it is here. You can see the word publisher over here. So you can click onto the publisher. So you can go to a new worksheet. You can see the names of the publication house. Let me increase the font size. So if you want to see it into the ascending or descending order, so let's see to it. So you can see from here, elsewhere has published. You can delete all this that you find it is not important. So you can delete those journals as well. Don't need to put all those journals. That is only one or two papers to their credit, because it will become too much of number. So you can see from here, elsewhere, number of papers that Elsevier has published is 28. So what we can do is we can make another table with the help of this. Elsevier Limited, number of papers is 28. Next, we can write about the Emerald publication, publishing. So you can click over here. How many papers? 36, 28. Let's say it is 10. And same, let's go on. And let me click onto this. Let me copy this and put it over here in yahan par, right? So this becomes my another table. So you have to complete this. I'm just giving you an example. So you have to complete this, but I'm just giving you an example. So I'm taking a small sample size right now. So the next important aspect is the publication house. So whenever you are making a table or a figure, just write over here as well, right? So the next important aspect over here is TCCM framework. Now, what you will be doing is theory. So how do we find the theory now? So let's make another table for this, and we will be needing the help of again our main database file. So you can see from here. So you all can see from here. This is my base file, CSV file that we have extracted from the Scopus database. And so this has become our master file. Now it has abstract as well. So what you can do is you can copy the abstracts and put it into a new Word sheet. So I have copied it here and put it over here. So let me wrap text. So you can see from here. You can see from here, like it has come. These are the abstract. Let me close it down, the extra files, extra websites. Let me close it down. Okay, now. Okay. So where were we? Let me close it down this as well. Okay. So now you have to see the papers that is having theory, or the papers that is having theory. So you, and what are the theories that has been used with respect to this. So how do we find this? So what we can do, a very simple way of doing this is, you go to this abstract, click on the first abstract, and go to a find option. So you put into the find the word theory. So what we can do is find next. So you can see this 17th paper is have used some theory. So make it yellow. So let's move. What is the next paper? It's the 71st paper that has used the theory. What is the next paper? The first paper that has used the theory. So let's do it. I have marked it as yellow. So another paper, 17th paper, I have done this. Another. So it means in this topic, very few theories has been used by the different authors. Very few, right? So most of the people, they have not used the theory. So let's understand what are the different theories that has been used, and which paper has used it. So how to make a table out of it? Let me show you my previous papers onto this. Let me take you to my paper, another paper. Look at this now. Look at this. This is one of my papers, and you can see from here. Uh, so let's say this theory has been used in my previous papers, in the previous papers. That is the theory of reasoned action. And how many papers has cited this theory? Let's say five. And which papers have cited? Which papers has cited this theory? So in-text citation of those people. Next theory is the theory of planned behavior. How many articles? Four. And who all are the authors? These are the authors, right? So if we are putting the in-text citations, we have to use the references for these in-text citations as well, right? So this is another table that you can put into your paper. This is another table that we can put into our table. I hope it is clear. Please raise your hands. Others also please raise their hands. Okay, nice. So that is good. So can we stop here for today? Duke, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Give me a second. Yeah. Uh, right. So,
TCCM is the theory. There is one question. Let me answer this. TCCM is the this first part, the theory that we have used in the paper. This one table that I have shown you. This is the part of the TCCM framework. That is the theory. So we have already written the theory. Now let's say if you copy this and put this over here in your paper, so it becomes theory is complete. The T first part of T is complete. The theory. I hope it is clear.
so
Uh,
yeah.
is it clear? Okay. Yes, Duke.
All right. So, Shalini, may I
Yes.
ask one question? With
Yes.
the current speed, do you think that how many lessons do we have? Maybe can you stop share screen, then you can see us, direct instead of sharing through the Zoom screen.
No, I'm not able to understand. Can you please repeat, Duke? What did you say?
Oh, okay. Can you stop share screen?
Acha, okay. Yes, yes, I'll do that.
Yeah. All right.
Yes.
Now with our current speed, how fast or how slow we are, will you expect how many lessons do we have? Like today is lesson 2. How many
Yes.
more lessons will we have?
For SLR, only one lesson will be in the next section. We can end up.
One more lesson, we finish.
Yes. Yes.
And do we cover like, citation map, cover all the Prisma framework?
We have already done that Prisma framework.
Yeah. All right. So
Yes.
will you also cover some of like, uh, code citation maps and use the,
Acha, okay. Bibliometric analysis.
yes, do we?
Yes.
Yeah.
In the next lecture, we can complete that.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. So you think that we only need 3, not 4 or 5? Like at the beginning, we estimated we may have 4 or 5 lessons. It,
Okay, we can do. I can take up the queries of the participants as well if you want me to do that.
yeah. I think maybe get one of the exercise and let everyone, for those who wish to do it, right? They
Yes, yes.
can, yeah, they can,
Sure.
yeah. All right.
We can
Okay.
have that session as well.
Yeah. Are you open for answer the questions?
Yes.
Yes. All right. Now let I see if we have everyone. Now let I allow everyone to unmute themselves. Right. Okay. Now we open to take on the questions on Zoom, so please feel free to what we call to ask direct in the in the mail in the microphone. Okay. Now there is one question, Shalini. Do you have with meta
Yes.
analysis?
Okay. So meta-analysis also we can do, but we need some more sessions for that. It will not be,
All right.
I will not be able to complete it in my next session.
Yeah,
If you
yeah.
want, we can do it. There is no issues with me.
Yeah, so maybe if next week we finish, SLR, so systematic literature review. So maybe in lesson 4 we can start looking at meta-analysis. How does it sound? Is it
Okay.
okay?
Yes.
Yes, right. I remember one questions before. Um, I in Vietnam, the participant, the student, and also academic of local university, they don't have access to Scoville database. So when they sign up for the free account, basically it just the normal one, but not the database. So if
What we can do is, we can keep one session where can I help the students to find out this CSV file. I can help them to download this.
Yeah, but what I mean is, so one question they ask is, do you
Yeah.
aware of any way that we can download the CSVs or the Excel file from Google Scholar? So we all
Google
know
Scholar
how
does
to
not
share
have a
Google
file.
Scholar, but
Google Scholar does not have a file. We cannot download the files from the Google Scholar.
So we can only copy one by one from the
Yes.
citation, yeah? So if you
Yes.
choose cite, yeah, okay. So I don't recommend Google Scholar to extract, as the data set. We only use Google Scholar as the
Yes.
to
We can do that, but it takes lots and lots of time to do it.
yeah. So we don't recommend, yeah. So there is no way that we can like download Excel or a CSV from Google Scholar. Yeah.
No.
Uh All right. So the question they ask, can you show how to make a master file by searching the papers on Google Scholar?
Next time I'll do it.
All right. Okay. So please come back for next week, right? Now,
Sure.
now,
No issues.
okay. What else? Do you see any odd? Do we have any other questions that we haven't answered, everyone? I answer, the question n equal 80. So n is mean number. So it's the number of your sample size, yeah?
40.
Yeah.
Minimum 40 should be there.
Minimum 40 should be, so you mean that for the literature review, we should review as the minimum 40 papers, correct?
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
Yeah, okay. Have we, all right, okay. All right. I think we're done for the questions. Yeah. So if everyone have any more questions, please feel free to contact me or write it down in our Facebook group chat. And then, we will ask Dr. Shalini for the next lesson, right?
Yes, we'll do that. So
Yeah.
I hope everybody has enjoyed the session.
Uh, yes, what I think Thị Minh Khan Nguyễn, one person, she is raising a hand. Minh Khan or Minh Khan, what's your question? It may be the last questions.
It's okay because professor asked if everyone is okay with her lecture, is raise your hand. So I put the item.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so you raise
So
a hand
can
just
you
mean that.
can you send me can you send to the Facebook group link to in
Yeah,
this?
I did.
Yeah.
Right. And then,
Yeah.
uh let us see it, and the Facebook group link, the chat link, I'm not sure if you go there, when you see chat, you will see right now. Let I see. Okay. Oh, I got the link here.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Thank
Copy
you so
link.
much. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Copy link. And then I put into the Zoom. Right. So we have a community on Facebook Messenger.
So can I leave,
Right.
Duke?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Right.
Okay. Bye. Thank you. Bye.
Yep. All right. Thank you, Shalini.
Thank you.
Right. We appreciate you share your expertise with us. Yep.
You're
All
welcome.
right. We see you again next week.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. All right.
Time.
So, everyone, we potentially use the same Zoom, but if you can make sure that you register for the link so that I can send a reminder to you. Yeah. All right. Bye, everyone. Thank you for joining us.
Good night. Bye.
Good night.
Bye,
Thank you so
everyone.
much. Yeah. All right. So there is a YouTube now if you want to watch again. Yeah. All right.